I woke up to the sound of something breathing beside me. Not snoring, not sleep-talking, breathing. Deep, wet, wheezing breaths. I live alone. When I turned my head, nothing was there, but the mattress was still warm. That was the first sign. I should have known then. But it was Pluto's eyes, those endless, black eyes, that warned me something was wrong with me. He used to be just a cat, my companion, my shadow. He'd curl around my neck and purr as if whispering secrets into my ear. But something in me broke. My drinking worsened, and the world blurred. I started forgetting hours, then days, and Pluto, he started watching, always watching. I told myself I was imagining it, but then I came home one night and saw him perched in the kitchen sink, staring at me like he knew. That was the same night I woke up with scratches down my chest. Too deep to be accidental. Blood on my sheets. I tried to lock him out, but he always got back in. One night, in a drunken rage, I did something unspeakable. I'll never forgive myself. I gouged his eye out. He vanished for 3 days. I thought I was free. Then came the fire. It started in my bedroom while I was asleep. No reason. No electrical fault. Just flames. Everything burned. But when the smoke cleared, there was a wall, untouched. And on it, scorched into the plaster, was the image of a black cat hanging from a noose. That same night, I found another cat in the alley behind the ruins. Just like Pluto, except for a white patch on its chest. It followed me home. I told myself it was coincidence. But it watched me. It followed me room to room. Always just behind. Sometimes on top of me, breathing, watching, whispering. My wife said I was losing my mind. That's when she found the cat in our bedroom, sleeping on her pillow. She laughed. I didn't. Weeks passed. The white patch on its chest, it started to change. It became a shape. I thought I was imagining it until I realized it was forming into a gallows. Then a hanging body. My body. I tried to kill it. I raised the axe. My wife tried to stop me. She never got up again. I bricked her behind the cellar wall. No one knew. No one suspected. I slept soundly. For once. Until the knocking started. Behind the wall. When the police came, I was so sure of myself, I laughed. I even rapped on the bricks to show how solid the wall was. That's when we heard it. A howl, something crying. From inside the wall, a voice that wasn't human. They broke it open. She fell forward, and perched on her skull was the cat. It looked at me, blinked, and I swear it smiled. The first time I heard the sweeping, it was past midnight. A steady, rhythmic brushing, long, dry strokes across the stone path beneath my window. But when I leaned out, there was nothing, only the wind, pushing dead leaves across the garden. The old woman I work for, Miss Ludgate, didn't react. Her blue eyes just flicked toward the sound and back again. "Don't pay it any mind," she said. "He's not sweeping for you." I had been living at Billington Abbots for 3 weeks, serving as Miss Ludgate's companion. It was an ancient country house with ivy-covered walls and silver-tarnished picture frames. Beautiful, yes, but suffocating. Time didn't pass here. It settled. She was in her 80s and rarely left her drawing room, surrounded by her priceless china and cold, perfect furniture. Yet she gave money to every beggar who knocked, no matter how dangerous or sick they looked. She'd even wait for them. I asked why once. She just said, repayment. Then the sweeping returned, always at night, always the same pattern. Slow, scraping, never faster, never closer. One night, curiosity overpowered fear. I went to the landing window and waited. That's when I saw him, a tall figure in ragged clothes sweeping the garden path. His movements were unnatural, repetitive, mechanical, like a pendulum. The broom never moved a single leaf, and he had no shadow. When he turned, I saw his face, hollow, bloated, as if waterlogged. His eyes bulged and twitched as if they were looking in every direction at once. I screamed. He vanished. The housekeeper found me shaking in the hall. She made me tea and told me what she had seen too, 15 years ago. A beggar had collapsed on that path after Miss Ludgate refused him food. Before he died, he said, "When I finish sweeping the path, I'll come for you." Every autumn since, he returns to sweep. 3 days later, the sweeping reached the gate. That night, Miss Ludgate sat in her chair and stared out the window. She said nothing. When I came down the next morning, she was still there, eyes open, lips parted in a silent scream. Dead. And on the floor beneath her chair was a single yellow leaf. It smelled like grave dirt. I got an email from an address that no longer exists. No subject, no message, just a single attachment. A zip file titled 7G06. I knew that code. I was a Simpsons fan from way back. That was supposed to be the production number for an episode that never aired, the one they replaced with Moaning Lisa. People online had called it an urban legend. Dead Bart. Curious and stupid, I opened the file. The episode began like any other. The family on the couch, the theme music. But everything felt off. The animation was rough. Characters barely moved. Marge's hair twitched constantly. Bart blinked too often. Then the plane scene. They were taking a family vacation. The plane took off. Bart opened a window, and he got sucked out. No cutaway, no scream. Just a long, slow zoom onto the tarmac. His body was there, mangled, broken, too real, like someone had studied autopsy photos. The second half of the episode was silence. The family sat at the table, weeping. The image decayed, colors bled, faces stretched, static crackled. Their skin began to peel. Their eyes looked bruised. Lisa's head tilted at an impossible angle. 1 year later, it said, Springfield was empty, buildings crumbled, trees dead. They visited Bart's grave, but his body wasn't buried. It was lying in front of the tombstone, just like before. Then, an unspoken word. Homer moved his mouth. No sound. The final image. The whole family on the couch. Dead, drawn in grotesque detail. The light in their eyes. Gone. The video stopped, and my desktop changed. A photo of my bedroom, taken from inside my closet. When I saw the front door wide open, I knew something was wrong. Eleanor never left it unlocked, especially not with a rich uncle visiting. But there it was, swinging gently in the cold night air. No lights, no sound. Just that feeling, the one in your spine, that something is watching from behind a door you haven't opened yet. We were supposed to meet hours ago. I thought maybe she'd gone to bed angry, but the house felt wrong, empty in a way that houses shouldn't be. I stepped inside. Silence swallowed me whole. The kitchen, the study, the hallway. Nothing. No note, no coat, no voices. I climbed the stairs calling her name. At the top was her bedroom door. Closed. I opened it and dropped the match. Eleanor lay on the bed, her throat slashed from ear to ear. I remember screaming, or maybe I passed out. The next thing I knew, I was in a jail cell. They said I was found babbling outside, catatonic. But here's the thing. When they brought me back to the house, it was fine. No body. She was alive. The door had never been open. They'd all gone to the Crystal Palace that evening. The room? Locked. But I described everything. The green scarf on the chair, the October calendar, the handkerchief on the dresser. She paled. But this is May, she said. I still moved her out, married her, got as far away from that house as possible. Until yesterday, October 22nd. She came down for breakfast. I was already at the table, white as a sheet. The newspaper trembled in my hands. The headline, Stockbroker's daughter found murdered in semi-detached home. Throat slit. Same room, same house, same day. I never went back. But sometimes, when I walk past reflective glass, I see a calendar behind me, and it's always turned to October 21st. They started blinking at exactly 3:12 a.m. 5 perfect white lights above the cornfield behind my house. At first, I thought it was a drone show, but the lights didn't move. They pulsed, in sync with my heartbeat. I swear I felt it in my ribs. I walked into the field. The corn was too still. Even the wind felt like it had paused. 30 yards in, I found Bella, my dog, frozen, eyes open, not blinking. She didn't respond when I called her name, didn't move when I touched her. Then I saw the spiral, burned into the ground beneath her paws, curling inward. When I picked her up, the lights vanished, and the world exploded into sound. Crows shrieked, wind howled, corn cracked. I ran. Since then, every night at exactly 3:12, the lights return. But they're not in the field anymore. They're getting closer to the house. Last night, they stopped outside my bedroom window, and Bella started barking, for the first time in weeks, but her mouth wasn't moving. The next morning, I found another spiral in the field. That night, the power went out at 3:12. I crouched in the hallway, holding Bella. The doorknob turned, not rattled, turned. The next day, I watched the security footage. The lights landed, and something stepped out. It wasn't human. Its face looked almost like mine, but stretched. It reached out, touched Bella's head, then vanished. I don't know if Bella ever came back. Tonight, I woke up to find her at the window, staring into the dark, whispering my name. My dad died 4 months ago. Yesterday, I opened his laptop to back up some files. I found his security app still open, a clip from that morning. 3:33 a.m. Someone was on the porch. Same height, same coat, same limp. It was my dad. He stared at the camera, then smiled, and said my name. I watched the other feeds. They were labeled by date. One from last week showed the basement door opening. No one there. Another, my bedroom. Me sleeping. And in the vanity mirror, someone else, standing behind me. It was him. In my dream that night, he stood at my door, humming, whispering. I didn't leave. You stopped looking. The next morning, a new clip appeared. Basement hallway. He was down there again, talking to something behind the door. And that's when I remembered what we buried under the stairs 10 years ago. Wasn't just a body, it was a secret. And now, one of us wants it opened. I was house sitting in rural Alaska, no Wi-Fi, 1 bar of cell service, just me in an old cabin. 3 days in, the generator failed. No heat, no lights, only sound left. The fridge's low hum. But that night, the hum changed. It whispered. I leaned in, ear to the door. Cold. I opened it. Nothing inside but frozen meat. The next day, handprints appeared inside. Frostbitten. Human. Beneath the venison, scratched into the metal. My name. I found a VHS tape in the attic labeled, "Do not watch alone." I watched it. It was my cousin, panicked, saying, "Don't open it when it speaks. Don't let her out." That night, the fridge whispered again, "Let me in." Not out. In. The next morning, the freezer door was open. The meat was gone. In its place, a VHS tape. Labeled with my name, I played it. It was footage of me, sleeping, and a pale shape, rising behind me. Her fingers, frostbitten, human, pressing gently against my lips. My job was simple. Monitor the basement security cams of a high-end hotel. No one ever went down there. Just empty concrete halls, rusted pipes, and a furnace room that had been sealed since the 80s. Until one night, the feed glitched, and I saw her, a pale girl, wet hair, dirty nightgown, standing in the furnace room, staring at the camera, not blinking. I radioed maintenance. They checked. Nothing. But she came back. The next night, 2:44 a.m. Same spot, same stare. Night after night, she moved closer. By night 5, she was just feet away. I started dreaming about her mouth stitched shut, her skin scorched. The hotel burned down in the 80s. A fire. They said a child was lost. Her name was Eliza. She was hidden by her mother in that room, so she wouldn't be found, so she wouldn't be taken. On night 6, she reached the camera. I lip-read her words, "Let me burn." Then the feed went black, and smoke filled my room. No alarms, no fire, just smoke. The next day, a soot-stained handprint was on the monitor. And in the hallway feed, she wasn't in the furnace room. She was standing behind me, watching. I haven't gone back to work since. But every night at 2:44 a.m., I wake up coughing, and I smell burnt hair on my pillow.